What's up, guys? Whiskey Alpha 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie here, and today I'm joined by my friends on Discord, and the Amateur Radio Net Night is tonight, so let's get started on that.
Radio Club meetings are held on the third Tuesday of every month, except the month of 12 in December, starting at 7 p.m. At the moment, meetings are being held at the Da Vinci Pizzeria, 1515 Washington Boulevard in Port Duke, Pennsylvania. That's in the suburbs of McKeesport. Before open, it's for check-ins with emergency or priority traffic at this time.
That's where I'm recording.
Does anyone that have listed of silent keys in a radio amateur have recently passed away?
Okay.
Not heard? Okay. Alright, I'll be taking some check-ins here in a moment. Oh, by the way, I do have my radio equipment repaired from last week. My apologies for not being able to send it to you. I ended up with a broken wire in my switching system and had to repair that. Excuse me. When you check in on the net, give your call sign slowly and phonetically, and state if you have any announcements or comments for net. At this time, I'm looking for any officers to whoever they are who wish to check in. W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango. Rob and Elizabeth Township. Evening, Chuck. Evening to the net, no traffic.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Whiskey India 3 Romeo. Roger and White Oak. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to all on the net. No further comment.
Okay, got Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango and Whiskey India 3 Radio. Any other members of the two of the ARC Board of Directors wishing to check in?
W3OC. Please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Uniform Whiskey Charlie, Stephen Boston. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone else on the net. No other comments.
Okay, got Kilo Bravo 3, Uniform Whiskey Charlie. Anybody else from the Board of Directors?
Yes?
Not heard. All right, okay, thank you.
What?
Now we're looking for stations that are offering mobile, portable, or outside of
Hold
Allegheny
on.
County to the tour
Let me check in real quick.
W3OC.
Let me check into my
Please
network.
copy Kilo Charlie 3, India Romeo Foxtrot Bob and Overbrook. Good evening. No comments.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Whiskey Alpha 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie. And Tony Safe from Pittsburgh, good evening to you, Chuck, and those on the net. No further comments.
W3OC.
Frickin', I messed up.
This is Kilo Bravo 3, Lima November Charlie. Lenny here in the mobile. Good evening, everybody. No traffic.
W3OC.
Come on, let me move into the other room.
Here's Kilo Bravo 3, Victor Sierra Papa, Dan out here in Beaver County. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net. W3OC. This is Kilo L3, Kilo Echo Victor Mobile. Denny. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Kilo Sierra Papa, Jim Portable Incarnate. W3OC, W83 PBD, name here is Andy, one portable in West Mifflin. W3OC, Whiskey Alpha 3, Bravo Oscar Juliet, 10 Portable Squirrel Hill. Good evening, you Chuck. Good evening, net, no traffic.
Okay, seems like a fairly good reception in here. I'll just show my phone so I can get the quality.
W3OC, please copy Alpha 3 Oscar Zulu, John in White Oak, and good evening Chuck, and good evening Annette. No further comment. W3OC, please copy Kilo Charlie 3, Papa X-ray uniform, Brian,
W3OC. Whiskey Alpha 3, Alpha Hotel Charlie, Antonio from Pittsburgh. Good evening to those on the net, no traffic.
W3OC.
Okay, so they got me that time.
This is Whiskey, Uniform 3 Uniform. Kurt and Elizabeth, no traffic.
And I'll end, and I'll start this one.
Please recognize Whiskey 3, Delta Tango Papa, Dalton Clarendon. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, everybody on the net. No traffic. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Let's see. I got Kilo Charlie 3 India Radio Fox, Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie, Kilo Bravo to Lima November Charlie Mobile, Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Echo Victor Mobile, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sugar Papa Portable, Whiskey America 3 Papa Bravo Delta Portable, Whiskey America 3 Bravo Oscar Japan Portable, Alpha 3 Oscar Zulu, Kilo Charlie 3 Papa X-Ray Uniform, and Whiskey Uniform 3 Uniform, and Whiskey 3 Delta Tango Papa. Anybody else?
W3OC. W3OC, please copy chart. Kilo Charlie 3, Papa India November.
W3OC. November 3, Zulu Charlie Hotel, Portable, Ricky.
W3OC. W3OC, please copy. Kilo Charlie 3, India Romeo Golf, Ahead McKeesport. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the net.
W3OC. Here's Kilo 3 Hotel India Romeo, K3HIR, Earl and Elizabeth Township. Good evening, Chuck. No comments. W3OC. Here is Bob, W3 Sierra, Yankee Radio, White Oak. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net. No comments.
W3OC.
W3OC, please recognize Kilo Charlie 3, November Foxtrot, Micah Scott Township. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, everyone on the net. No comment, no traffic.
W3OC. Please recognize November 3, Tango Alpha Uniform, N3 TAU Norm, Penn, Westmoreland County. Good evening, Chuck. W3OC. Please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Kilo Bravo Hotel. Craig and Castle Shannon. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net. I have no traffic.
W3OC. Here's Kilo Alpha 3, Zulu Japan Whiskey. Dave and Plum. Good evening, Chuck. Everybody on the net.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. Take a quick standby here. Got Kilo Charlie 3 Poppy into November. November 3 Zulu Charlie Hotel Portable. Kilo Charlie 3 India Radio Golf. Excuse me. Kilo 3 Hotel India Radio. Whiskey 3 Sierra Yankee Radio. Kilo Charlie 3 November Fox. November 3 Tango Alpha Uniform. Kilo Bravo 3 Kilo Bravo Hotel. And Kilo Alpha 3 Zulu Japan Whiskey. Anybody else?
Golf India. Net control. Call here in Fayette County, Dunbar, PA.
W3OC. W3OC, Kilo Bravo 3, Yankee Indian November, ready for McKeesport, no comments.
W3OC. This is November 3, X-Ray Whiskey Alpha, John and Wilkinsburg. No comments.
W3OC. KC3, NPK, Kilo Charlie 3, November Papa Kilo, Tom and Sarver, no comments.
Okay, I got Kilo Bravo 3 Yankee into November 3 X-Ray Whiskey Alpha, Kilo Charlie 3 November Papa Kilo, and somebody at Dunbar. Who was that?
November 3, Bravo, Germany, India. November 3, Baker, Germany, India, Carl, N3 BGI here in Dunbar.
Roger, thank you. N3 Bravo Golf 50. Thank you. Anybody else? Again, please. You're breaking up. Okay, we'll stop right there. Thank you all. Thank you all for checking in here this evening. tonight. Got a pretty nice night outside from what I can see. Got a little nice night to do some radio stuff here tonight too. Thank you for that. I try to give you a couple ideas of some of the things that are going on that I know of in the area, which isn't that much. Two Rivers ARC has its Happiness breakfast. It's held on the second Saturday of every month at Dodge Cornerstone Diner. That's located at 620 in McKeesport, Pennsylvania. That's actually the actual location is at the entrance to the Olympic Shopping Center from PA Rock 48. See, our next pub meeting, I think, is on October the 20th, I believe, at 7 p.m. at the Da Vinci Pizzeria again, 1515 Washington Boulevard in Portview, Pennsylvania. That's in the suburbs of McKeesport. Let's see, that's kind of what I got as far as club activities is concerned. See what else. Looking around on the internet a little bit. Let's see, locally we have on October 3rd is the Amateur Radio Emergency Services Simulated Emergency Test Drill. We'll have more information as we get a little bit closer. Some other activities coming in Pennsylvania on October 10th and 11th. It's the Pennsylvania QSO party. That's where the world works radio amateurs in Pennsylvania. October 19th to the 23rd is the School Club Roundup. It's the ARL School Club Roundup on the HFM. October 24th and 25th is about the biggest radio contest we have in Hampton, pretty much, is October 24th and 25th. That's the Teacher Worldwide DX contesting the sideband mode. Getting a little ahead of ourselves in November, the whole month of November is going to be the 100th anniversary of KDK Radio. There's going to be special event stations operating within Pennsylvania. I know one of them is W8XK. I think the organizers are still working on getting it organized some more, so it's going to be a pretty good fun event. Okay, of course, the Two Rivers activities, we still have the Super Raffle going on. I still haven't finished that off yet. We're hoping to soon. There's still tickets left to sell. Those who are interested in that. There's only 250 tickets available at the most. Most have been sold. We've still got a few left. The winner who will win will have a choice of either ham radio or transceiver. Transceiver choices include the Yaesu FTTX 101D, Macron 7610, a Kenwood TS890S, or cash prize. Anybody interested in the tickets should contact Dell, W3 Delta Tango Papa. Dell can be reached by email to petersondt at verizon.net, petersondt, verizon.net. Phone number 412-398-1092, 412-398-1092. His address is by mail is also 933 Jefferson Drive.
Oh, yeah, I just no. Okay.
I don't see any listing of any Hamfest scheduled in the area. Pretty much everything's been canceled this year, including the one in the Waycom Fest that's usually scheduled in November. So until the clubs get organized or we figure out what's going on with this kind of stuff, we don't see Hamfest here in the area. I saw there was one listed on the ARL's website up there for Harrisburg. I don't know if that one's still scheduled or not. So it still shows listed up there. It's in the middle of October. Okay, what else is that? Let's see, I kind of think that's all I know of at the moment. So does anybody have anything that they need repeated or would like to add to this W3OC? Okay, all right. Well, I think I got I'm pretty sure I have the Newsline feature going to work tonight, I think, because as I said previously, I apologize, last week I had an audio wire break off inside my switching, which I didn't know until the last minute. All right, well, I think it's working tonight. Let me switch this over. We'll see what Newsline's got. I know they got a story in there about the Dayton Amvention's old location at the Harrow Arena that's about it going to be demoted. So we'll see what that's all about. W3SB.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2239 with a release date of Friday, September 25th, 2020. To follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Para Arena is coming down. Disaster preparedness goes global, and a popular ham shack for visitors to Sweden is closing. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2239 comes your way right now. From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Bloomington, Indiana, here's Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG. We begin this week with the end of an era and the planned demolition of a Dayton, Ohio building that, since 1964, symbolized one of amateur radio's biggest international gatherings. Hera Arena, already deteriorating by the time it was left damaged by tornadoes in May of 2019, had been home to Dayton Hamvention until 2017, when it was moved to the Greene County Fairgrounds in nearby Xenia, Ohio. The arena property will also be rezoned to allow for manufacturing and distribution once the legendary building has been taken down. A global emergency preparedness initiative is underway and has put a call out to ham radio operators. They're being asked to assist with preparedness and safe response and educating the next generation. Christian Kudnick, K0STH, has that story.
The most effective disaster plans involve training tomorrow's MCOM operators. And according to Gregory Lee, KI6GIG, hams more than anyone can take an active role in this, while helping communities respond to so-called geohazards. Greg says hams can educate the very youngest students, right up to those of college age, on the geography and hazards of their region. The basis of this education is his free downloadable article, Are You Living in a Potential Disaster Zone? Newsline has a link to the article in the printed version of this week's script at arnewsline.org. Hams should also become aware of whether their country is a signatory on the United Nations Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction and engage teachers in awareness of this formalized global response. Greg said that COVID-19 should not get in the way of this kind of training. He said the Amateur Radio Society of Bangladesh recently asked him to assist with development of a national MCOM network, and he was able to do the presentation to them in Dhaka from his QTH in Arizona. He told Newsline that in the schools, preparedness studies can complement class lessons as students learn how math, science, and other disciplines play into weather forecasting, radio science, and effective communication. He encourages interested hams to write him at gecoradio@gmail.com. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Christian Kudnick, K0STH.
Meanwhile, hams in Austria are preparing for a nationwide off-the-grid exercise to be held on October 3rd. The annual drill will begin, as always, with the sounding of the emergency sirens. Hams will be putting their emergency communications readiness to the test and will be joined by members of the military, public broadcasters, the Red Cross, and energy suppliers. Do you believe in superheroes? Well, the next big thing might just be a superhero among batteries. At least that's what scientists are hoping. Ed Durant, DD5LP, has that story.
The German Research University is working with an ultracapacitor specialist in Estonia to develop what scientists are calling a groundbreaking graphene battery. They're calling it the super battery. While it is not energy dense enough to be a replacement for lithium-ion batteries, it is being eyed for complementary use. Skeleton Technologies in Estonia, with the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology in Germany, say the battery will have a charge time of 15 seconds with hundreds of thousands of charging cycles. The rapid charging time is being attributed to the battery's use of Skeleton's patented curved graphene carbon material. For Amateur Radio Newsline, this is Ed Durant, DD5LT.
We all take pride in who we are as amateur radio operators. Now a new club is forming as a virtual collective, hoping to provide a welcoming spirit to amateurs who are also part of the world's LGBTQI community. Robert Broomhead, VK3DN, has that story.
The Pride Radio Group launched itself on the 13th of September, and within the first week alone, it had become a group of 50. A virtual community organised by Michael Wheeler, VK3FUR, the group encourages discussion on SDR, antenna design and HF operating. Much of it on the Discord app for now, and it promises what Michael calls a safe and friendly environment. Michael said the group's origins are rooted in the hope to provide representation for radio amateurs in the LGBTQI community in Australia and the Oceania region, and that it just grew from there. Whilst the group awaits its Australian call sign to be granted, plans are in the works for a future with special event activations, DMR talk groups, and a Pride-focused contest likely for June 2021. Michael said other ham clubs have already reached out asking how their organisations can become more inclusive and welcoming. Michael told Newsline, quote, "I've had a number of people personally reach out to me to tell me that a group like this might just be the sort of thing they need to get back on the air," end quote. For more details about this emerging group, visit the website prideradio.group. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Robert Broomhead, VK3DN.
In the UK, the Get On the Air to Care campaign has accelerated since the Radio Society of Great Britain and the NHS teamed up to highlight ham radio as an antidote to the melees of pandemic lockdown. In fact, national media such as the BBC and the newspaper have shared such stories as this next one, as Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, explains.
Caitlin Field, M6XTT, is the third generation ham in her family, and its first YL. She joins grandfather Don, G3XTT, and father Ed, 2E0WWF, with her fascination with radio and science. When lockdown happened, Caitlin made the most of her time by studying the foundation course provided online by Essex Ham. Using Zoom, Don supplemented his granddaughter's studies with regular tutoring sessions and proclaimed her an eager student. It also gave the two some quality grandpa and granddaughter time, which they both thoroughly enjoyed during an otherwise very isolating lockdown. On her third try, Caitlin passed the exam under remote invigilation by RSGB President and Exam Quality Manager Dave Wilson, N0OBW. Soon the 10-year-old was holder of her father's old foundation call sign. Getting on the air to care, or caring enough to help someone new get on the air in the first place, is the essence of this joint campaign with the Health Service, according to Steve Thomas, M1ACB, and the RSGB's General Manager. Now it seems that mainstream media also cares, and cares enough to put amateur radio stories like this on the air. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
We also mentioned that the RSGB has begun making remote invigilation available for applicants for the full license. On Thursday, September 24th, the Society began accepting exam bookings for all 3 levels of license. Exams are now being booked for Wednesday, October 21st and beyond. A popular ham station for guest operators in Sweden has become another casualty of the global pandemic. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, has those details.
There's little more than 2 months to go before SA9AM, the visitors' amateur radio station in Udenid, Sweden, closes its doors permanently. It was established 20 years ago and is owned by 8 radio clubs in Sweden's 3rd call area. There have been no guest operators, however, since the COVID-19 pandemic, and its board has opted to cease operations on the 1st of December. Since the visitor station opened on July 19, 2000, it has logged about 160,000 QSOs. The station is known as the King Chulu Longkorn Memorial Amateur Radio Visitor Station and is located near the Thai Pavilion that opened in 1998 to honour the Thai King's visit to the Swedish town in 1897. SA9AM President Jorgen SM3FJF made the announcement, adding that all QSL cards and SA
Sunday 9 a.m. awards will still be sent for confirmed radio contacts. Feeling like I'm on the set of The King and I, for Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Graham Kemp, BK4BB. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the K4LYL repeater in Bedford, Virginia, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. local time.
W306.
When it comes to predicting coronal mass ejections, occasionally it's better not to be a scientist. Jeremy Boots, G4NJH, tells us why.
Citizen science has proved invaluable to researchers at the University of Reading in the UK in their search for a more accurate way to forecast coronal mass ejections. Thousands of volunteer participants in the Stormwatch Citizen Science Project have been sending researchers their observations about previous CME images captured by special wide-angle cameras on spacecraft since the project began in 2010. The scientists then combined these observations with their own forecasting methods, making use of the additional information. According to an article in Science Daily, this model increased accuracy of solar storm predictions by 20%, supporting researchers' theory that the inclusion of imaging cameras on future space weather monitoring missions by ESA and NASA would be beneficial. The team also found that forecasts uncertainty was reduced by 15% as a result of the volunteers' input, which provided a better sense of the trajectory and shape of the solar storm. The results of the study were originally published in AGU Advances. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
What are you doing on Sunday nights? Try slowing down. Kevin Trotman, N5, PRE, explains.
The K1USN Radio Club doesn't believe good things should be rushed, not even contests. That's why their new slow-speed CW contest, known as the SST, will go as leisurely a pace as radio operators need it to be. Based on feedback from its inaugural one-hour event held on September 13th, the contest is being held every week at 0000 to 100 hours UTC Mondays, which in the United States takes place from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sundays. According to the club website, the leisurely pace also allows for friendly greetings between operators and not just a hasty exchange of information. The nonprofit club comprises civilian radio enthusiasts as well as former and active members of the military. The contest is designed to be especially welcoming to those who are new at CW. For more details, visit www.k1usn.com. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kevin Trotman, N5 PRE.
There is a new resource in Australia for licensees who have more questions than answers right now. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, picks up the story from here.
Newcomers have more questions than answers when they first get their license to get on the air, and clubs can't be everywhere offering the one-on-one support most newbies need. The Radio Amateur Society of Australia has made an online collection of knowledge-based articles available to newcomers, hoping it will help fill the support gap many of them encounter. The free resource is called the Amateur Radio Tech Support Service, and it offers detailed information on how to set up a station, how to understand what kind of antenna you may need, DXing, complying with regulations, and of course, dealing with interference. There is also an online guidebook for newcomers called Welcome to Amateur Radio. The website notes that the service is presently in the pilot stage, and if it proves successful, it may be expanded. Look for the link to this tech support service in the printed version of the script on our website, arnewsline.org. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
As sure as the autumnal equinox has arrived in the northern hemisphere, the 100 watts in a wire fallout activity has returned too. Stephen Kinford, N8, WB, has those details.
Here in the United States, while the leaves may be coming down from the trees, antennas are still going up. That means fallout, the good kind. The annual autumn portable operating event hosted by the 100 Watts in a Wire podcast. This year it's taking place on October 9th, starting at 0000 UTC, and concludes on Sunday, October 11th, at 2359 UTC. The stage is simple. Call sign, state, province, or DX country, true signal report, and your 100 watts ID number. Sure, you can operate from your shack if you'd rather stay indoors, but if you operate portable, you get the added benefit of testing your equipment and your readiness for next year's field day. There are other extras too. Contacting bonus stations will let you get extra points. And at the end of the event, submit your totals and be automatically entered into a random drawing for prizes. One of them is a complete QRP station. To qualify, stations must have a minimum of 25 contact points and be in the continental United States. So get out and fall out. For more details, visit the website 100wattsandawire.com. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Stephen Kinford, N8WB. 100 Watts and a Wire is also a presence now on YouTube, where it has its own channel featuring videos and live streams. Now you can see the podcast as well as hear it. In the world of DX, Dave M0VDL is on the air as M0VDL/P from Lundy Island in the Bristol Channel between September 26th and October 1st on 40 and 20 meters using sideband and FT8. You may possibly find him as well on 80 meters. Be listening primarily in the morning and late afternoon or evening UK time. USLs can be sent via EQSL. Be listening for members of the Charente DX group who will be using the call sign TM7R from Ray Island off the west coast of France near La Rochelle between September 26th and October 3rd. The hams will be on various HF bands using CW sideband and the digital modes, QSL via ON4ZD, direct, 5 euro, or Club Log. Operators are being encouraged to use Club Log's OQRS as much as possible. Cherry F4HJO will be active as F4HJO/B from Braha Island off the northern coast of Brittany between October 17th and 24th. Be listening on 80, 40, 20 at 17 meters, where Jerry will be using mainly sideband. QSL to F4HJO, direct, by the Bureau, Logbook of the World, or Club Log's OQRS, which is preferred. Finally, if you've got a favorite operating band, one that kind of grows on you, you might have something in common with a weed known as the Thale Cress. Mike Askins, KE5CXP, explains.
If scoring a good contact on 40 meters leaves you feeling energized, consider what it does to the Thale Cress, an annual weed native to Asia, Europe, and North Africa. Thale Cress apparently loves 40 meters. So much so, in fact, that it gets downright excited in the presence of its radio waves. Researchers at Sorbonne University in Paris exposed seedlings of the plant to weak doses of RF at 7 megahertz and waited. No, they weren't standing by for a signal report or even a QSL card. They just watched and paid careful attention. They reported the results in a recent issue of New Scientist magazine. Apparently, the signal report on 40 was pretty good. The radio waves appear to have accelerated the seedling's growth by altering a biological protein receptor governing that function. Scientists believe if the findings can be confirmed, this phenomenon could prove useful in farming as well as medicine. So does that make 40 meters the new magic band? Perhaps we'll know soon enough. Perhaps making better use of that 40-meter dipole might just find you standing after field day. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Mike Askins, KE5CXP. With thanks to Amateur News Weekly, the ARRL, CQ Magazine, Daryl Stout, WX4QZ, David Behar, K7DB, Don Fields, G3XTT, Greg Lee, KI6GIG, K1 USN, Michael Wheeler, VK3FUR, The New Scientist, Ohio Bend DX, 100 Watts and a Wire, URZ.com, Science Daily, ShortwaveRadio.de, SI9AM, Southgate Amateur Radio News, Steve Thomas, M1ACB, Ted Randall's QSO Radio Show, Wireless Institute of Australia, WTWW Shortwave, and you, our listeners. Amateur Radio Newsline. Please send emails to our address at newsline@arnewsline.org. More information is available at Amateur Radio Newsline's only official website at arnewsline.org. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2 GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Bloomington, Indiana, saying 7-3, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2020, all rights reserved.
Good evening, 8:37 p.m.
Hey, it's W3OC Net Control for TRARC. That concludes this week's Newsline transmission. Sorry. While that was playing, and I was listening to it, I was looking around on the internet, and I found information on a series of movies that are being played on Amazon Prime Video. You might want to take a look if you have access to that. Take a look for the movie called World War II Amateur Radio Films. I'm going to go take a look at that later tonight, hopefully, and see what that's all about. I read somewhere that it's a pretty good movie. Okay, with that, we're going to take a standby. If anybody else wishes to check in, call now.
W3OC. This is November 3, Popeye City uniform. Chuck in the southwest. Hello, Chuck and everyone on the net.
W3OC. W3OC, please copy Whiskey 3, Sierra Hotel Foxtrot. Steve in Pitcairn Heights. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the net.
W3OC. Please copy Alpha Delta 3, Alpha Alpha Lee in Oakland. No comment.
W3OC. Please copy Kilo Alpha 3, Foxtrot Whiskey Quebec, Jeff in Greensburg. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, I got November 3 Poppy Sierra uniform, Whiskey 3 Sierra Hotel Fox. I got Alpha Delta 3 Alpha Alpha and Kilo Alpha 3 Fox Whiskey Quebec. Anybody else? I'm going to close the net down at this hour. I show 33 check-ins this evening. I'd like to thank everybody who did take the time to check in with our net tonight. And join us. Those of you who are members of the free shooters or interested in free shooters, their net starts at 9 o'clock over on the frequency 28.480 on upper sidebound 10 meters. Okay, with that, we're going to send a repeater back to John Amber Hughes. Everybody have a good week. W3OC and that's W3ON. Good night.
Alright, well that's it for tonight's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that post notification bell. Yeah guys, this is 73rds from Whiskey Alpha 3 Alpha Charlie 73rds.